Hello everyone, so today I'm back with another Let 'em Dare video. This is for the Mini LD44. This month the theme is an RTS, so we have 7 days to create a full RTS game. So my game is, I decided to call it Ninja Squad Commander. I think this title fit the theme of the game appropriately. So let me go ahead and start this. So as you can see here, the title of the game spins around on the title screen. Took me a little while to get that working correctly. Basically, I rendered the title text in Blender using a raised font and converted that into a mesh, and then pulled that into Unity. So if go ahead and press space there. So right now it's going to be a ninja style based RTS. So you'll have things like temples, shrines, and dojos, and I've already planned out a lot of the different ninja types. There'll be a different ninja type for each one of the major elements. Like there'll be fire ninjas, they'll be able to shoot flames for burn damage. There'll be water ninjas who can actually shoot water or make water traps to slow down the enemies. There will be wind ninjas, and with the wind ability they'll be able to have invisibility or be able to sneak past other units. And finally, earth ninjas. I haven't really decided what they'll be, but I have a feeling they'll probably be a healing class. Maybe they'll be able to use herbs from the earth in order to heal the units. So I have a couple of buildings rendered here. So there's the temple. I believe the temple will be the main base unit where you'll generate all your other units. To the right, here's the dojo. So this is where you'll be able to train your ninjas. So worked on that a little bit, and yesterday I got the selection working. So you can click on these guys, and whenever you click on one, then they'll turn green. And it took me a little while to figure out how to do this correctly. It uses a ray cast in Unity, so basically what it's going to do is it's going to shoot a ray from the camera down to the pixel where your mouse is located. It's going to shoot a ray going in that direction, and then the first object that it collides with, it will return that object. So if there's another guy behind him, it won't select him. It will only select the first guy that ray hits. So using tagging to determine whether the object is a ninja or not. So if it is a ninja, then it calls that method to set his selected property. Basically it just toggles right now the selected property. If you click on, then he's selected. If you click him again, then he's not selected. So I did that last night, and tonight what I've been working on is getting these guys moving. So it's been a little bit difficult, but I think I've finally got it where they'll move around smoothly. It's using a similar technique with the ray casting. So basically I'm shooting a ray from the camera down into the plane. So if it detects that the first thing the ray hits is the plane, then it knows it's not a ninja and it's not a building, so it's the ground. So if it clicks on the ground, then it does an interpolation from the position, or a lerp as they call it in Unity, from the starting position of the ninja to wherever I clicked on the plane. So it's basically going to interpolate so we get a smooth movement from that one location to another. I currently don't have collision detection between the ninja and the buildings. I also don't have animation yet. But I do have it where if you select another ninja, then they'll bunch up and come together, and you can move 2 at a time. And then if I select another one, if I select all 4, I just currently have a group offset for the ninja, so that way whenever I select a target position, they all don't clump up onto one spot. If they did that, it would only look like one ninja, even though they're all overlapping with each other. So I can like unselect a couple of these guys, and I can move these guys like out there. Then I can select these guys, and they'll basically all come together at the same point. See if I can bring up some of the code here in Unity. Go ahead and move this guy out of the way. Maybe just minimize this guy if I can. Go ahead and stop this. And so I'm going to go and look at, oh, that's really big. Make that a little bit smaller. Pull this up. So have the game in level 1. So this is basically where I've been creating the buildings and everything. These little ninja guys are all prefab, so those are created at runtime, except for this one. That's the one that I'm currently working with, and then I just pull him down into prefab, so I can create as many ninja as I want. So here's the code for the ninja. See if I can pull that over. So basically I have a few variables here. This is that selected value that I was talking about, so that determines whether this ninja is selected and whether he can move. The position where he's going to move to, actually, I'm not using that right now. I'm using these variables down here, the starting position and the target position. Let's see here, whether he's moving or not, and that group offset that I was talking about. And let's see here. That's just some testing I was doing there. Calculate the number of frames that they're going to move, because if I just do a pure interpolation from one point to the other point, if there's one guy that's close, and then one guy that's far away, and they're both coming to the same point, well, the one that's further away is going to look like he's running really fast. The one that's really close to the target position is going to look like he's going really slow, because they're both interpolated at the same speed. So if I keep track of the number of frames that I want to move based on the distance that they're away from the target position, then the farther one will get at the target location a little bit later than the guy that's really close to the target position. So that's where we're setting the color to green and white, whether or not they're selected. And this is where, if he's selected and the mouse is down, then we're going to calculate on the plane where the player clicked on the plane. We do that ray casting up here. And we're going to calculate the distance, and then this is where we do the ray cast here and calculating the target points, and this is just basically getting the ninja going in the direction that he needs to go. And this is where I calculate the distance that he needs to go in that amount of time. I have another script over here called game controls. So one thing I didn't demonstrate in the game, see if I can start it up again. Start this guy up. And let's see if I can find the game screen, pull this guy out. So I can select these guys and move them around, but I can also use the arrow keys and move around the game world. So that's what that code was doing. And even when I'm moved over in the game world, the coordinate system still works. Whenever I click to a certain point, they move to that location, even though the camera is at a different position. So that's basically what that's doing right there, is moving the camera around in the game world. Doing the raycasting again here. This is basically doing the selecting. This is the toggling that I was talking about earlier. So if the ray hits a ninja, then we're going to set him to selected if he wasn't selected before, or the other way around. And finally, I have a ninja generator. So this is just basically a class that manages all the ninjas. So it's just basically a collection of ninjas up here, and I have 3 instantiated down here. And I also have the title screen. So this is that cool rotating effect that I was talking about earlier. If you press space, you want to load the main game. So the wait amount is when the text is static, just flat, not rotating. If it's not waiting, then we're going to rotate it a little bit until it gets to 360 degrees. I have to add 180 because of the way that it was outputted from Blender. And basically we're going to rotate this by the amount that it's weighted. So that's basically the progress after 2 days of Ninja Squad Commander. So yeah, I have 5 more days, so hopefully I can get a lot more done, and maybe getting some ninjas fighting and throwing flames and things like that. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.